Now we're doing appetizer type things on pita bread. So I'm going to start with this big hunk of gorgonzola, chop it up a little bit small, and then we're going to take the pita bread, which I got at Trader Joe's. First thing I do is a little bit of olive oil on it. I stick it in the oven like this, just to crisp it a little bit, because pita bread it's a little bit thick. And I'm gonna make 2 different kinds of pita bread snacks. So we're just gonna do the same thing here. A little olive oil first, just for flavor. And then when they come out, we're gonna salt it. So a really nice product that I keep seeing in different forms is what I'm gonna say is a hot honey. This one is a habanero flavored honey, which seems like just a dream to me. And this is found everywhere. You might recognize this, what this looks like. It's always displayed next to the cheese at Whole Foods and like the Chico's or the fancy supermarkets. And I'm telling you that this fig spread is amazing. And then we're gonna use pecans, or walnuts would actually also work really well. So now what I've done here is I've taken some of this habanero honey and I just microwaved it a little bit to make it softer and easier to spread. What I'm going to do is put the pecans in it, give it a mix, so that when the pecans go on the pita bread, they're gonna be like pre-honeyed. So we're gonna use that, and then we're gonna use some extra honey kind of all around it, or the fig jam. They're similar flavors, and I really think you can mix and match. And my first one is going to be gorgonzola and pecans. Okay, so now gorgonzola. I mean, these are all like kind of strong flavors, like a hot honey and a gorgonzola. I think they're amazing for appetizers. So now you do some gorgonzola, which is gonna get a little melty and nice. I like to put some spinach on for color. And then we're gonna put the pecans on top. And then you can use like extra red onion or extra, you know, you can look around and see what you have. But this is our basic recipe. It's pecan gorgonzola on pita bread. And then what I'm gonna do is heat up a little bit of the fig sauce so that I can kind of like sprinkle it around also. And then we're gonna put them in the oven for a couple of minutes, and it's gonna be delish. So what I'm gonna do is take a little bowl and take the fig sauce. This just, you know, microwaving these things just make them a little bit easy to work with. There's a little bit of olive oil in this pan also, because it's just easier to use when it's like soft. Put it in the microwave for about 15 to 20 seconds. Okay, so now it's just a little bit easier to use. It's a little softer, and we're just gonna kind of sprinkle it on and maybe try to get into the spots that don't have, you know, other stuff already on it. Just doesn't have to be perfect. There you go. In the oven, everything's gonna like smush and gush around a little bit. I'm gonna put it on a little tray, just because it's a little bit messy. So I'm gonna put this back on a little tray. In the oven, we'll keep an eye on it. I'm gonna guess it's just gonna be like 6 minutes to get everything like soft and a little melted. So I'm gonna put this in now, and I'm gonna pull out the other pita bread, and we're gonna make something slightly different with that one. Okay, so now we have some, so I have some leftover steak from last night's dinner. And I know my kids come home from school, they're starving and they want something. And it's nice to use your leftovers. So all I'm gonna do is take the steak that I had. So obviously you have pre-made steak, or you have pieces of chicken, or the bits of rotisserie chicken that we all love that you can just shred a piece off and use on the pita bread. Don't forget that the pita bread does already have some olive oil on it and probably some salt. So that's just like a nice base for that. Again, we're using our spinach. You know, depending on the taste of your people, you can use either the hot honey again, or you can use this, or you're gonna use the like jams and jellies that everyone's gonna find in their house for this holiday season. All right, so we're just gonna slide this one in the oven, and I think our first one's gonna be ready. So let's check it out. This one, you can see, is good to go. Like, things are softer. The gorgonzola is like a little bit melty, and just cut it like a pizza. There you go. We can use a nicer plate than this. So I'll plate them nicely, but let's just first take a taste so that we know that it's gonna be good. It's really good. Okay, so now we're gonna take the steak pita out of the oven. Got nice and warm. The spinach cooked down a little bit. Just smush it around a little bit to make sure that that fig jam is on all the pieces. And we'll put that aside, and then we will cut that up as well when it's a little bit cooler. So now the steak pita is nice and cool. So we're just gonna slide it off. And if you remember, it has the that fig jam on as well. That's a good way to use up some of your leftovers. You know, it works with chicken, works with, you could even do like a white bean crostata type of thing. Sausage would be amazing if you have leftover sausage from a meal. Could have maybe cut the steak a little smaller, but then you run the risk of like overcooking the steak. I like the steak at least medium rare. So we're gonna give the steak a try. It's good. It's good. So thanks so much for joining me. I hope I've left you with a couple of great ideas for dinner and snacks in the next coming weeks. And see you soon, and let me know if you want me to come to your house and make a meal from what you've already got from your cabinets.